All right, y'all. I'm gonna make another review recap of the last few episodes we've gotten since my last review. I want to say the last review I did because I just be clumping things up. I think I did it right before the fight between Selena and Soguchi. And if I included that in my last review, then I did. And if I didn't, well, we're going to include it here and go from there. So, once again, I'm going to talk about each Belle and just like kind of clump their storyline and go up based on the importance of them. And I don't think my order is going to change. I still think that from like least impact to most impactful on the season has changed since the beginning. Like, I still think that this season is heavily about Latrice. That seems to be a trend of the show so far, where there's one Belle that seems to have the most airtime and the most story development and multiple stories, if you will. So, like, first season, I said that was Marie's season. Second season was Letitia's season. This season is all about Latrice. And don't get me wrong, there's other Belles that have some big stories too, but if we can't go one episode where that one Belle is not heavily featured, then so anyway, so starting from least to most, still least is Tambra. She is popping up more and more, but it's almost like when we get her, she pulls out. Either she walks away or she's just super quiet. So she really wasn't involved much in that fight episode with Selena and so Gucci. And then the episode afterwards, she really wasn't in that. So what we've gotten so far from Tambra is Marie and Letitia in her business. Now, this is more so Marie's and Letitia's story, but it's because it's involving Tambra. I'll mention it here. I'm just gonna, since I'm talking about Tambra, I'll just talk about Tambra's thing with it. But Tambra is very like upset and very hurt that Marie and Letitia. I think it's more so that, and she said in the last episode, episode 9, she seems more upset that not so much that this man has like peeked back in, but more so that the girls went to him before they went to her. And then it's clear that they are believing him more than they are believing her. And you're supposed to be her friend. You're supposed to have this sisterhood with her. And instead, you're doing all of this. And that would make me feel some type of way. And I really do think, like I said before, that Tambra has really been affected by the negative things that people have said about her since her being on the show. She's gotten quieter. She's really has changed up her look as far as all her hair, her lipstick color. And I feel like bad. Like, unlike, say, Marie, Latrice, and Letitia, who I think are living in all this attention, and everyone is getting their little piece of negative stuff. Everybody's getting hated on and bullied in some way, but I think it's really hurt Tambra a lot. And I don't know if that has impacted her work, if that's why it's making her more quiet and pull back. But when Marie confronted her about it and was clearly showing a sense of she's believing this guy, Tamara got upset and she got loud, but she didn't get loud like she did with Akeisha. And to me, what Marie did is more grounds for a loud, reaction than what Akeisha did. Because all Akeisha did was deny you calling somebody, calling the girls ugly and you saying, well, I'm going to tell them what the F you said. And, that, people essentially saying you're a liar by denying what you're saying. Yeah, that's going to make you mad. But I would be more mad at somebody believing a man who has hurt me, who I've had to go to court over, who has threatened my life or made me scared of my life, that these women are believing him over me. That would make me upset, and it would also make me scared. But maybe she's more scared than upset. I don't know. But it seemed like at some point it really, really felt like her and Damon had broken up. She had kept saying all these like little things about him, that she feels like she needs more space. She doesn't feel like they're on the same page. She's very offended by him talking bad about her career, belittling it. And, she said they're still together. Okay. So that's all that's going on with Tambra. Oh, well, no, this is more Akeisha. I was going to say her and Akeisha, but that's more Akeisha stuff. Which, speaking of Akeisha, I think in my last review, I put Akeisha as second to last. But now I think I'm going to bump her up to fourth and put Soguchi at fifth. Because to me, at this point, Soguchi is just repeating everything. She keeps repeating everything about Latrice. And they let go of the whole thing with Selena, which I'm so thankful for now. I'm thinking. I feel like it's going to get brought up again. But, with Soguchi, she is really just riding the coattail of being around Marie and Letitia and Akeisha. But I'll tell you this. If I was Soguchi, I would be so embarrassed by how everything is coming out about her. Because, first of all, she got beat up. Selena beat her butt and she got a knot on her head. Second, it's very clear that she is not as good of a realtor as she says she is. Obviously, we all knew about what happened with Latrice and her going somewhere else. But then we come to find out, and I forgot about this until she had mentioned it, that Akeisha was looking for a house in Jackson, and she did find one, but she was finding one with Soguchi at first, but then switched over to somebody else. And it was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one episode, because I know really wasn't feeling the place that she picked. Which is interesting to me because the house that Akeisha is in is way smaller than the house that they were originally in. It looks like the house that Akeisha moved into is like a ranch. And the house that Soguchi did show them was at least 2 stories. So she looked like she downgraded. So I don't know if they couldn't afford it anymore. It don't look like I'll say this. It don't look like, it's not Latrice's house, that's for sure. And it's not Letitia's Airbnb either from the last 2 seasons. Listen, you can't tell me that Letitia's house that we saw the first season is not an Airbnb, because it didn't look really lived in. We haven't seen it. Okay? But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. It's almost feeling like Soguchi would be lower than Tambra, but I think because Tambra just don't really talk, it's hard to put Tambra any higher. It's like everyone is pulling her in, and it's not herself pulling herself in, whereas Soguchi is just inserting herself with everybody and just kind of siding with them. I just think like Soguchi just want to be on TV so bad, and she don't really have a lot going for her, so she creates. Not even so much that she creates stuff, but she latches on to it. Like, Latrice let go of the whole real estate thing. She let it go. So Gucci keeps bringing it up. They stopped talking about her fight with Selena, but that was being talked about for episodes and episodes. So, yeah. But, I do like JJ, her husband, this season. He's so funny to me. He's more tolerable than he was last season, I felt. Well, I'll say this. At first, I found JJ to be kind of annoying, but like the beginning of this season, but now he's kind of like, he's just fun. He's just fun to watch and enjoy. But, yeah, I still don't like Soguchi. I do find her to just be an attention seeker. Ishtar, like, she just be saying little stuff, and it's just like, girl, please be quiet. Okay, so I flipped these two. So next, fourth was Akeisha. Akeisha is getting more and more. She's got more going on. She's interacting with the girls more. She's getting more scenes. She's doing more. but I still want to see her do more. You know, seeing her host her little holiday party was a step. Seeing her at So Gucci's birthday party, at Marie, not Marie, at Latrice's wig launch party. Like, we're seeing her more, but all we're still getting is the same old Ferris Street story. Like, oh, I'm just waiting, and then her in her house looking like she don't get no sleep. And I want to see her do more. Like, I feel like we've seen her do the least amount, you know? So I really would love to see her do a bit more than those two same things. But like I said, we are picking it up a bit more. Now, a reviewer had made a point about this, and it was one of those that you're like, oh, yeah, that is interesting. So, you know, Akeisha was really mad at, and still is mad at, Tambra for talking bad about her. And Akeisha had said, you know, you brought me in and now you're talking about me behind my back. And it's like, why? But she's like not letting it go. Like, they do not talk. Like, they will be in the same area. They don't talk. Like, you know, Latrice and Marie are like the biggest like enemies on the show, but they have their moments where they can like give little hugs or like might say hey or something. Akeisha and Tambra say not a thing. Not a thing. And so what I find so interesting about their feud is, you know, she's buddy with Letitia. Now, I think she might still have a slight thing with Letitia because she did make a comment defending Letitia. And she had even told Letitia, she's like, look at me defending you. But she's cool with her for what it seems like. I think she'd rather hang out with Marie and So Gucci than Letitia. But you know, I'm still concerned or wondering why Letitia's comment hasn't been truly chastised for, because when they got into an argument last season, Letitia said that that's why nobody wants you. That's why you were put up for adoption, you know? And that's how we found out that Akeisha is an adopted person. Her dad had her outside of a marriage. So it's like, oh, but she didn't get heat for it. She's been cool with her for the most part. I mean, she said she wasn't going to do business with her, which is understandable, but she ain't mad at her the way she is at Tambra. And to me, the energy that she's given to Tambra, I would think she should be given to Letitia. But whatever. So, now getting into more of the other bells. So, third, I would say, is still Marie. But Marie is just, I don't understand why Marie is so hung up on everybody else's business. You know, she was giving all her attention to Latrice. Now she's giving all her attention to Tambra. And Letitia's in on it too. Now, I don't know who is more, what's the word? I don't know who's more like not in charge, but who's more like spearheading this whole getting Tambra's business, if it's her or Letitia. I feel like it's more Letitia, but because Marie ain't going back down, she's doing all like the heavy lifting, if you will. Because to me, Letitia is someone who knows that she's on TV and wants to make a moment because she wants to be on TV a lot more. I really saw this come out second season when she saw from first season that she wasn't featured a whole lot. So she inserted herself. You know, she was all up in Tambra's business with Damon. And now with Tambra and her past, it's like, girl, I personally think that the reason why the ladies are probably so hung up on Tambra, and it's not so much because she's said a little something before. I think it's more so because Tambra probably just simply doesn't share. They just don't really know a whole lot about Tambra. And I think it annoys them because they just are feeling like, okay, you're bringing down us being on TV. If you ain't going to give the judge, then we going to get it for you. That's really what it feels like, because Tambra hasn't done anything. She hasn't been doing anything. So it's like, to me, I just see it like a behind the scenes, like we're trying to stay on TV and we're trying to make it a good TV. And you're not adding to it. You're a main cast. You've been here since season 1. You're not giving us anything. I don't care that you're hurt from what people have said online about you, so that's why you're being more quiet. You need to pipe up for this TV. That's how I feel. That's just how I think of it, because it just doesn't make any sense for why they care. Like, who cares if she was engaged or wasn't engaged? Like, if she said she wasn't, but she actually was. Who cares? Oh, you care because you want it on TV. Gotcha. But yeah, Marie, same old, same old. Nothing new. The only thing that we're getting a little bit more of is we got Essie back. Now, I don't know exactly when they filmed this season. We do know it's around the holidays, but I don't know when it started exactly, because, Essie had mentioned that her mom died of cancer back in May. And I want to say that it must have been like May of last year when they were filming in 2022. And maybe the reason why Essie has not been in so many scenes is because she's been grieving. And she's, was tearing up talking about her. Because it's so weird that we went almost 7 episodes and we didn't see nothing of Essie. We didn't hear anything of Essie. So I just want to say that's why. It's because of that. But, there's been little bits of like her mom, but that's it. Nothing about her son, nothing about her divorce and Cedric, none of that. So it's like, Marie, when you gonna pipe up? Alright, next is Letitia, who is really becoming my least favorite. She is so messy, she's so dirty, she's so two-faced. She's very two-faced. Like, she got heat from Glenn about the stripper thing, but in her moment of, setting Glenn straight, which at first I was like, yeah, you tell him, she's over here dogging Latrice. And it's like, wait a minute, girl. First of all, you got some nerve talking about Latrice and Cliff not letting her do anything, because, girl, you... But yeah, like I said, Letitia is like a slick producer. She's always inserting herself. And it's really Tambra. And I feel like it's because Tambra's the easiest to get on, because she's not saying anything like that. That it's like, you are all up in this lady's business. All up in her face. So, and I just don't really like Letitia. And then, who was next? And then Latrice. It's all about Latrice. Still the same thing. Her mess with her husband, her business. Her business is not a mess, but she's just like doing more. Her wig launch. Yeah. I like Latrice. I do. And I do feel bad for her sometimes, because she's another one that gets hated on by the other women. And I feel like Letitia, Marie, and Soguchi are jealous of Latrice in ways, because she's younger than them, she's prettier than them, she's more successful than them, and she also has a rich husband too. But she's rich herself. So, but that's it. It feels like we're gonna get an actual like long season, because we are on episode 9, and by this point we would have been given the feels of this is going to be the season finale. But there are still things from the trailer that we haven't seen in the show yet. Like, there are 2 baby scenes. There's one with Latrice making this sort of announcement to the group that her and Cliff have been trying to have a baby, or talking about it, I should say. And then there's another scene that we saw from the trailer of someone's at the doctor. They're pregnant and they're doing an ultrasound, and the doctor says, see, there's the little heart, or there's something. And at first, when I saw that in the trailer, I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's JJ's daughter who's pregnant, but no, that's not it, because we're about to see her son now. But so I don't know. But if I had to say, I would say that the baby has to be maybe Tambra, because she's been like, I'm not, look, Tambra's tiny. And that one scene from last episode where Latrice offered her to get her a drink and she said no, she'll just have water. I looked at her stomach and her stomach is flat. Same thing with Latrice. So it's like, who's baby? Who's the baby? Because y'all are the slimmest ones and y'all got the flattest stomach. So whose baby is it? But, well, I guess we'll see. So it seems like we're going to get some good episodes, because, I mean, the last 2 seasons, we only got 10 episodes, including maybe 1 or 2 for the reunion. So it looks like we're going to get some good episode length, which I enjoy. Because I feel like we're not done with y'all yet. But that's it. Let me know what y'all think about it. Do you agree with my ranking of the importance of the show? Like, first Latrice, second Letitia, third Marie, fourth Akeisha, fifth Soguchi, and sixth Tambra, which you switched some people. And we just gonna see how the rest of the season shakes out.